I'm going to call the Village of North Hudson regular Board of Trustees meeting to order on Tuesday, March 5th at 7 p.m. Invocation is, Father, we ask for wisdom, guidance, and discernment in the decisions we make that affect our village and its residents. We also ask you to watch over our police, our EMS, fire, and all who serve. Roll call, please.
Trustees Keller?
Here.
Buchanan?
Here.
Nelson? Absent. Olson? Absent. Ike?
Here.
President Larkin?
Here.
Trustee Zeick?
Here.
Zeiss, sorry.
Thank you. Item 2, review and approve minutes from regular board meeting from February 6, 2024, and special board meeting of February 20th, 2024.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks, Dusty. Any discussion, additions, or amendments to the meeting minutes? Hearing none. All in favor of the the minutes as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, item 3 is comments from the floor, opportunity for the Village of North Hudson residents, property owners, business owners to make the board aware of topics, issues, and opportunities either on or not on today's agenda, and there is no one in the gallery tonight, so we will go on to item 4. And item 4 is new business from the board or staff and the president's comments. There's just a few things. Reminder that everyone come Sunday early a.m. To spring forward with your clocks because it's daylight savings time again. And then I wish everyone a happy St. Patty's Day. I hope you stay safe and pay attention to your celebrations. And also something we've been waiting for, spring begins 2 days after St. Patty's Day. So I know everybody's been in the spring mood since we've had such wonderful weather, and we've have all been looking forward to that. And then I just want to remind folks, our website has been upgraded, and and please sign up for email notifications and e-notify, because that's the easiest way that we can get information out to everybody in the village. So with that, I'll turn it over to Gina.
All right, not a lot this month to report. We do have 3 peddlers licenses that were approved, 2 for renewal by Anderson, that's just through this spring, and 1 for the sweet treats for this summer, the ice cream truck. So that those did come in and get approved. Animal ordinance, we have kind of brought that forward again, or starting to have discussions about an updated or amendment ordinance addressing chickens, goats, reptiles, a few other things that are not called out in our ordinance today. So we have, I had a phone call with our warden to understand what his responsibilities or roles could be in that. And I plan to have that ready for re-review in the May meeting. Election worker training, we've already had 1 for the appointed election workers in February. We've got another one scheduled this week, and then everybody will have completed their required training for the election workers. Elections is pretty much what I'm going to be doing, as Stan mentioned prior to the meeting, for the next month. So we'll be busy with that. A couple of reminders for anybody listening and for those here. We have until March 13th for voters to register to vote by mail and or online. And then from March 14th through March 29th, the only way that you can register is to come into the village office and register during normal office hours from the 14th to the 29th. There are no voter registrations allowed that Saturday before elections through that Monday. So the 30th of March through April 1st, there's no registrations. And then, of course, you can come and register on Election Day on April 2nd, again, at the village office during the voting hours of 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. For absentee applications, the deadline to request an absentee ballot, which is received by mail, email, or online only, through March 28th. They have till March 28th to submit an application to receive an absentee ballot, or they can come in person to receive their absentee ballot and vote from March 19th to March 29th. And both of those, again, are here at the office during our normal office hours. And then, of course, voting is April 2nd. So we'll continue to post those as those dates come up to remind people how they can get to that information for both registration and absentee. The only other thing I'll mention is that in our next meeting, we'll be seeing both of the firework permits for both of the firework companies within the village. We've been in contact with both of them, and their applications are in process, and we'll have those for the next meeting.
Excellent. That's it. Thank you, Gina. Okay, item 5, reschedule April Village Board meeting and Finance meeting to March 26th due to the spring elections on April 5. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Mary. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of to reschedule the meeting to March 26th, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Item 6, review of liquor license application, Giovanni's Italian Ristorante. Approval requested.
Stand motion to approve Class B fermented malt beverages and a Class B liquor license for El Loro of Hudson, Inc., DBA Giovanni's Italian Ristorante, John Earl, agent, with an effective date of March 8th, 2024 through June 30th, 2024.
I'll second.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Dusty. Any discussion?
Yes. Do we have an issue from the chief?
We do.
The chief had,
Yep.
There should be, I don't know if there was actually an issue statement, there should be a memo that was,
yeah, I saw,
It did get uploaded after the request this morning.
I have no internet in this room right now. This is no internet connection.
It is in the packet. I appreciate that. I did not attach it previously. So after you had mentioned it, I did go and attach the application, the letter from the chief, and the supplemental document.
yeah, he has requested to have conducted a background check on the agents and officers listed for the following establishment, Giovanni's. I recommend approval of the agent and officers listed for the alcohol license for the above establishment, and that's signed by the chief.
Thank you.
Anything else? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the liquor license, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries unanimous. Item 7. I think that's all we got there. I mean, preliminary resolution 2024-03 declaring intent to levy special assessment under police powers pursuant to section 66.0703 Wisconsin Stats for street improvement along Fifth Street between Wisconsin Street North and Monroe Street North. Approval requested.
Move to approve resolution number 2024-03.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Dusty. Discussion. This will all come up to bid or whatever. I mean, Kevin will,
This is a preliminary. He puts this out there ahead of time so we all have a chance to look at it, but it's going to be back once he has final numbers on each of the properties.
thank you. Any other discussion or questions about the assessment? Hearing none. All in favor of declaring it, a special assessment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 8 is approval of ordinance number 03-2024 to amend Chapter 6, Section 35 of the Municipal Code regarding proof of fire inspection for license applicants. Approval requested.
Stand so moved to approve ordinance number 03-2024.
Thank you, Tim. Is there a second?
I will second.
Thank you, Dusty. Any discussion?
I like that, Gina, you put the red line up there so our establishments can see the new requirements that you placed up there in the ordinance, so it's good for them to go back and reference that, so that's nice, that's up there.
Thank you, Paul.
Awesome.
The other change was just an update to the ordinance. The old ordinance required the applications be notarized, and the state passed a statute saying you can't do that, so just took that out of the code.
Good.
Excellent.
So this kind of brings us full circle then from the last meeting where
Yep.
we approved the ordinance and there was question about what we had. So we've closed that loop.
Excellent. Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of ordinance 03/2024 to amend chapter 6, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 9, review of Hudson proposed urban area boundary, UAB, discussion only. Gina, you want to do a background on this one?
Sure. And again, as suggested late in the day, I did add the email that I got to the packet that kind of kicked this off with a little bit of background, and I think Brian did some research too, which was helpful. So the email really states that this is actually being driven by the Department of Transportation, and it's a census-defined urban boundaries. So what it allows them to do is to determine the type of federal and state transportation funding based on if location is listed as urban or rural. The reason why they're meeting with us is, as you can kind of see from their map, is that they're looking at bringing what was the boundary in 2010 inwards a little bit, so the purple. So they're removing some of what was previously considered urban and bringing that in. Again, there's costs associated with urban streets versus rural streets, and so they're trying to bring that in. And what they wanted to make sure is, although we are within both boundaries as we sit today, the question they had for me that I needed to bring to you guys was, if we had any plans to annex, and we were to looking at annexing something that was outside of the purple but within the black, there would be impacts to our ability to get funding for street improvements on those areas. And so what they asked me to confirm is that we have no active plans to annex anywhere inside the purple or what was the black line, active plans to annex. And if we did, they would want to know about those plans.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, thank you.
I have questions, like, so what does this mean? Do we, and how do we know that? And our online map, our zoning map isn't really up to date, and I haven't had a chance to look in the hallway. So how does this correspond to what we already have zoned?
This is, every 10 years, as you know, a census is done. And so this Hudson urban area, they call us and Hudson one thing, a Hudson urban area. And the Department of Transportation looks to see what might be coming in the future. That's why they're asking about annexing, if there are possible annexing coming. When you dig down into what they're doing, they're trying to decide, in some places, how much mowing they're literally doing along highways, streets, in a Hudson urban area. They have inches that they will let the grass grow. In different areas, it's 6 inches, in some inches, it's 12 inches, and they never cut below. And so they're looking at how to save money, essentially, at the end of the day. And if they're saving money, it might mean there's more transportation dollars available to both us and Hudson. This is not put out by Hudson, this is put out by the DOT.
And it does not have anything to do with our zoning. It is just purely how they look at the streets associated with these areas and how they view them, if they view them as urban or if they view them as rural.
Okay, I can't open the email that was attached later, so I apologize if these are repetitive questions. So what are we actually being asked to vote on?
We're not voting.
Not voting,
So this is
discussion.
just discussion?
Discussion to,
Gina, why don't you just read it?
and there is, we do not have any plans for any annexation. They usually, you know, the neighbors to our north have, you know, were asked years ago if they would thought about annexation, and they said, that'd be no. So, yeah, so they like their well and septics out there apparently, and their roads are being kept up, so, yeah, there's no plans for, that's basically what they wanted to know, if the village has any plans for, you know, annexing, because our neighbors to the south do that quite a bit, and so, we're just, letting them know that there's no plans for that.
We're not committed to anything by this email, they just want our comments, there's no commitment of any
Right.
sort at any point along with
Actually,
this.
you have another meeting on this too, don't you?
I told them that I would, as soon as I confirmed, I didn't see anything that had indicated there was any plans to annex, but I would bring it to you guys to confirm that assumption, and then I will be back in touch with them. So any more information I get, but I will confirm. Their question for me was, do you have any active plans for annexation that would impact any of these areas? I said, not that I'm aware of, but I will confirm.
And the email says any comments, do we have any comments
Yeah.
about their
It
map?
would be really, it's gotta be more than just mowing. It would be really nice to know with what they're all trying to accomplish every 10 years with this thing. Have you ever seen this, Paul, before?
I've seen the maps before.
Okay. But I don't understand, I did some reading, and there's a lot out there on it, and I sent Gina some of it, but it's, it's a lot of detail.
Well, as long as we're not committed to anything, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we're not really committing it at this point.
No. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go on to item 10, which is discuss beginning work on comprehensive plan. That's also discussion only. Yeah.
Yeah, so we, I think Mary and I had had a conversation, and our current comprehensive plan is only good through 2026, and it's a 20-year plan. And so the question was, is it too early, or is it appropriate timing to start engaging resources to help us with starting the analysis on what would then result in the plan that follows the 2026 plan. So I think generally what I'm looking for is approval to start to engage resources, understand timeframes, understand costs associated, and bring that forward for us to consider.
Yeah, no,
Starting.
you've got to start working on it before we can, you have anything to vote on and stuff. So, yeah,
Okay.
I don't think the board would object to beginning work on this, because
No,
it's
It's a
long
6
process.
8 month process
Yeah.
to do it.
She's looking for outside help,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
that's part of it.
Yeah,
And yeah, those of you that followed Hudson's last one, that was, that was pretty long, and they went through a lot of stuff.
yeah.
If you really want to engage the community, it takes a lot.
I talked to the county, I know they help the towns
Okay.
with that. And the regional planning people help the towns with that. And there's some cost, but it's not unreasonable, I don't think, for what they do.
We maybe can access, I know the county did some surveys and other things that sounded like they were statistically sound. And if any of the results for our area are available
Yeah.
or could be isolated from that, that would be good to have too.
Yeah, I just worked with the county for town of Richmond, and they went in and analyzed all the latest census things and, graphed all the population trends and everything that you need for the new comp plan,
So,
and they really had it down.
and the comp plan, it has all these different pieces. I mean, you're gonna have parks in there. If you've ever looked at our current one and everything that was said they were hoping to do, and, I mean, that is comprehensive by itself. And then your streets and anything like that that you're planning, there's so much, and it's like involving so many different groups.
is there somebody, typically any of the committees that helps drive that? Is it the board? Is it
It's typically the plan commission that does it.
commission? Okay,
Yeah, the board will approve it at the end, but it's really the plan commission job to to work through it.
So maybe the appropriate next step then, getting it on a plan commission agenda?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go on to item 11, which is Plan Commission recommendations. Paul, is there any update?
Did not meet.
Did not meet. I like that. And item 12, Personnel and Finance Committee recommendations, claims approval requested. Is there a motion?
Stan, I move to approve the December 2023 non-recurring claims of $3,708.74 and the March 2024 non-recurring claims of $78,622.09.
Thank you, Tim. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Brian. Any discussion or questions? Nathan gave a very concise and good report for everyone, and I hope he's enjoying his vacation this week. Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, Mary?
I just want to point out, because it's obvious probably to everyone, that there's a very large amount that we're paying to the city for delinquent utility fees, and we believe that that's recoverable in some way, correct?
So that, and I apologize because I don't think I read your email correctly, as you just stated that. So that's money that we took in as a part of tax roll through January that we are now paying to the city.
Thank you, we've already collected it.
Yes, we've already
Thank you.
collected that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, spending, Mary?
Yes.
Dusty?
Yes.
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 And yes.
Thank you, unanimous. And then we come to item 13, which is Public Works Committee Chair Update, Brian.
Stan, we did meet, and we have one thing to bring forward. Move to approve a bid of $8,500 from Zappa to move the fire hydrant located at 906th Street North, back away from the street. And I'm told it's going a little north and a little east.
So they can have their bike path.
It's a complicated thing because of the utilities that are also right in that area.
Yeah. Well, that got to be done, I guess, and so
I'll second that.
we got a
Oh, sorry.
motion and a second. Any further discussion?
As you alluded to, so this is for the St. Croix County bike path to allow the path to go through freely.
Correct.
And that is consistent with our comprehensive plan and the values of the residents in our existing plan to have walkable and bikeable trails, so that seems like a good expense.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none. Let's see, it's a motion to spend. Tim?
Yes?
Yes.
Brian? Yes? Dusty?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Thank you. Unanimous. Item 14, Public Safety Committee Chair Update. Tim, you got anything?
We did meet, but we have nothing to carry forward tonight.
Thank you. And Public Welfare
We
Chair
did not
up-
meet.
Huh?
We did not meet.
Did not meet. How about Park Board Committee recommendations?
I think that would have been Barb, maybe?
Crickets?
No, this is Kirky
Well,
only. Kirky only.
apparently they have nothing to
only.
bring forward. And item 17 is to go into convene into closed session. The board may convene into closed session pursuant to statute 19.85, parent 1, parent lowercase e, to deliberate and negotiate the purchase of public properties or the investing of public funds or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session with respect to sewer and interceptor agreements, ad hoc committee updates. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Dusty. And all in favor of going into closed session, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Chief, I hope you have a blessed evening.
Thank you, you all as well.